Okay, guys, the veil is thinning. What does that mean? A lot of people, sometimes I forget when I talk that other people don't live the life I live. Believe me, I have lived a crazy life. Have you ever thought about your life? And it's like, I remember my father in law telling me years ago when I was really young that it's as if we lived different lives in one lifetime. And at the time, I mean, I intellectually knew what he was talking about, but I hadn't really truly experienced that. Maybe a little bit, but wow, looking back now, isn't it true? I don't know how old you guys are watching, but isn't it true for those of you that, I guess are 40 or over? I remember wanting to die when I was a very young child, from my first memory on, and then I had the abusive childhood. Then I got out of that at a very young age. I was on my own, and the partying years, which are younger for me than most people. I was done by the time most people start, and then the childbearing years, the marriage years. As far as the worldly stuff goes, those were the best years because, I had my husband to help me and take care of financially, we didn't have to worry about that. There were two of us. It's always easier with two. Then there were, I'm not going to say I never had any fun years, but there was a lot of the dark night of the soul, and then the really horrible years. And I had to deal with my health stuff. Um, and then, the homeless over and over and over again years. Through it all, whatever, it just seems like it was all a different life. And you feel like the same person but almost like different parts of that person because obviously you grow, you learn, you become hopefully a better person. You evolve basically emotionally, spiritually. And Anyway, so back to the veil thinning. There is so between realms. I'm not talking about like the Earth versus like outer space. But there is the heavenly realm, the and the earth, the physical realm, and there is like a veil, like a curtain, I guess, between the two, and sometimes there are certain people that are gifted that can eat more easily than others and more regularly than others get communication from across the veil. Sometimes certain areas and that sort of thing have kind of like maybe I don't know if I want to call it a tear, but if you're looking at it like a curtain, like a tear in the curtain. And there are there are beings that kind of cross the veil. Not from the physical into the heavenly. Although you can do like astral projection and stuff like that. But that's different. There are different realms. So we have the physical realm here, and then we have the spiritual realm. And the spiritual realm is bigger than we can even imagine. I mean, think about how big this world is. Just the earth itself. Think about how big it is. And it always strikes me as funny when people think, just because two people have crossed over that they're together. Not necessarily. I mean, look at how big it is here. Just because two people are on earth doesn't mean they ever will know each other. But anyway, so just picture like a curtain. And through different events, through, growth, through spiritual growth, through God's plan and the way things go, the veil is sometimes lifted. I really believe that very recently. Now, I think maybe, I don't know, I don't know how many years ago, 100 years ago, or, I mean, we've always had the negative entities trying to do things. They've always been trying to attack us or whatever. And then, let's say, I'm sure all through time, I mean, long before I was here, long before you guys were here, long before the history books were even thought about. But in my lifetime, I look at the free love movement, and then just different things that have happened in the Western world that have desensitized us and made us okay as a whole with things that we probably wouldn't have been okay with 100 years ago. And it's just really interesting. I mean, and now, I don't know about you guys, but have you noticed a difference? I have noticed a difference. I remember a couple years ago, I had asked God to open my spiritual eyes. Well, this is probably 10 years ago now. And I asked him, I said, could you please let me see spiritually? Let me see people and the spirits that are basically attached to them or whatever. And a couple days went by and nothing. And then I was driving the car and I came to a four-way stop, and there was a very attractive young woman to the right of me at the other stop sign. And she looked over at me. I'm guessing she was in her early 20s. And she looked over at me, because we're at the stop sign together. And she morphed into something really hideous. Just for a second. Or maybe 20 seconds, whatever. And I thought, okay, that didn't happen. That didn't happen. I'm seeing things. So, but then throughout the day, I think it lasted about 6 weeks until I finally said, God, will you please stop doing this? I was seeing things, ugly things attached to people. People would be talking, and I was seeing in their field these awful things. So, and I know you might think I'm crazy, but when I asked God to please stop it, it did. And I know he's shown other people things like that too. So before you ask him to do something like that, just be prepared for what you might see. But anyway, my whole point is, so when I say the veil is thinning, or when you hear other people say the veil is thinning, what it is like a combination of the two worlds. And I feel that just recently, maybe within the last year or so, it has been torn in different places, and maybe some entities that shouldn't be here have gotten through. And that could be through our fault. We could be messing with things and made that happen, or maybe it was supposed to happen. I'm not going to say the world's going to end tomorrow. I mean, nobody knows when the end times are, but it certainly feels like we're in the end times. I mean, we have statues of other gods going up. We have Baphomet statues. We have babies being sacrificed. Have you heard how many, just like in the last 2 weeks, people have killed their children? Mothers killed their children. Fathers killed their families. Fathers killed their children. Children killing parents. It's like just like in the last 2 weeks, and I know it's been going on forever, but it's like, wow, this is crazy. And, other things happen, and we're so desensitized to it that we don't even think of it as anything other than just, hey, that's life, So I really believe, so when I say, or when others say, the veil is thinning, that's what that means. And I believe that that happened maybe a couple years ago, and then I feel like just a few months ago, there's been some kind of other tear, and more negative entities were released. So we have to be more careful than ever with our spiritual beings, with our spiritual health, because you know what? This body's going somewhere someday. I'm not going to need it anymore. And yes, we have to take care of our physical health, our vessels while we're here, absolutely. But this will one day go, regardless of how many times I go to the gym, how healthy I eat, but the spirit remains. So more than ever, we have to really focus. And it's really hard because it's distracting. This world is distracting. You get all this stuff going on. I see some really, good people. And again, I know I've said it before. What's to say good? Where do we judge that? Where does God draw the line? But some people that I consider really good people that care about other people and that kind of thing, going through some really horrible things, and they have anxiety because of money, or earthly things, you know, petty things in the big scheme of things. You know, just freaking paralyzed by fear. I know myself, I've been bombarded and paralyzed, absolutely paralyzed by this world. Now, not literally paralyzed. I can still walk, I can still move my limbs, but emotionally paralyzed, physically paralyzed. Not that I can't move, like I said, but it's like, I don't know how to really explain it, but it's like I cannot move forward. I know what I have to do. I can't move forward. I have to literally fight to do regular everyday things. I have to literally fight myself, my spirit, to get up and go to the bathroom before I can't freaking, my bladder's going to explode. And it's not a laziness thing. It's a paralyzed by fear. The spirit of fear is not of God. You have to keep telling yourself that. The spirit of fear is not of God. So you literally have to rise above that. You raise your vibration. You do whatever you can do. You pray. You read your Bible. You help other people. Do you know by helping another person, a random act of kindness, you are raising your vibration? You're also releasing a physical chemical in your brain, in that person's brain, and in anybody that witnesses that brain, witnesses that act of kindness, their brain. I mean, so you're really doing a lot of good by doing a random act of kindness. Now, we're not supposed to tell people when we do it, don't let your left hand know what your right hand's doing. That means not only do you not tell people, but you don't even think about it yourself. You make it a way of life, okay? Even if you're doing it just for you to raise your vibration at first, it becomes a way of life, and you're helping other people. My biggest thing, though, is the veil has, I swear, it's got a big tear in it, and it's not where it's supposed to be, and I think a lot of negative entities have broken through. I mean, people are doing crazy, crazy things. Not that they haven't in the past, but, I mean, how many disorders do we have today? We label everything. But the normal people, and I'm not trying to insult anybody, but that's why I put up the quotes, are going off the wall. People are fighting everywhere. I mean, oh, it's just, it's bad. It's bad. People are sad. People are depressed. The spirit of suicide is everywhere. People are killing their children, like I said. Abusing their children. Addiction is out of control. Do you think anybody wants to be addicted? Nobody wants to be addicted. People start using substances as a way of escape or feeling better or, you know, easing their anxiety or whatever the case may be. Nobody wants to be an addict, but that's out of control. And then we've got the money makers coming in trying to, you know, leech off that problem. Hey, we can line our pockets with this. It's a crazy world, and it's getting worse and worse and worse by the day, by the hour, by the minute. So those of us that wish to, you know, keep our spiritual being at the best shape possible, and in the next realm, you know, be in a place where we want to be, where our relatives are, where we can, you know, rest easy. We have to keep ourselves up. And one way to do that is to support each other. I told you in another video, if you haven't watched it, I have stepped back from a lot of the stuff I do. I can't do it anymore. I'm a mess. The physical body's gonna die. That's what's gonna happen. I might not look that way, but believe me, I feel that way. And I can't even explain to you what's going on with me. I am absolutely under attack. It's not like a dark night of the soul. It's not the same. It's got a lot of similar aspects, though. Attributes, whatever you want to say. It's a horrible time for me. But I got to keep chugging through because nobody else is going to do it, right? So, prayer, please, if you could pray for me. If you need prayer, I'll pray for you. We need to support each other in many ways. If you can do a donation, that's great. If you can't, that's great too. But just energy, prayer. And I'd like to start these meetups, you know? I mean, I'm in New England. I'm willing to travel anywhere in New England to go meet up and build a spiritual family here. You know, I don't know about you guys, but, I do go, I've been looking for a church home. I haven't really found one that I like all that much, but I'm going to one that my son likes. And that's all well and good, but I want people that I can truly connect with, can talk to, can help out, that they can help me out, that we can be a family. And I'm willing to travel all over New England and do an online thing. We need to support each other more than ever, because it's only going to get worse, guys. These people that are saying, we're ascending into the next dimension and it's all good. I'm sorry. I disagree. I used to believe that stuff. I used to believe that until my eyes were opened. And I don't believe that anymore. This realm, it'd be nice if things got better, but even if they do, it's going to be temporary. Maybe they'll get better for another 1,000 years. I don't know. But whatever it is, it's only going to be temporary. We have to rise up. We have to be there for each other. So if you're willing to help out, to join together, I would love that. I would absolutely love that. But anyway, even if you're not, just keep in mind the veil is thinning, and what that means is almost like a merging of the two worlds. I'm not trying to scare anybody. We've got angelic forces too. Thank God, we've got angelic forces and we've got protection and we've got God, and God trumps all, But we do have, and it can't be denied. I know that there are atheists or even people that are agnostic, or even some people who claim to be, believers in whatever, will say, okay, this lady's totally off her rocker. That's fine. You can think that. But those of you that really know me, I'm not. And my life's been dedicating to helping other people, and that's not going to change. That's not going to change. But, I'm being beat up hard here. Physically, emotionally. Oh, my family's under attack. Financially. Well, the finances, it goes along with everything else. Physically, I've never felt this drained. Even when I was going through chemotherapy full time, I have never felt this drained in my life. And it's not just a physical drain. It's not just an emotional drain. It's like a combination of emotional, spiritual, and physical. There's still stuff I have to deal with every day. I wish, so many people are able to, God bless them, even if they take a night or two and they can go away. That's wonderful. I can't do that. I can't do it. I just can't do it. I got to keep on trugging every day. There's too much stuff going on. Anyhow, I'm not trying to complain. God, I'm grateful for everything God has given me, but I just kind of wanted to explain that if you're feeling this way, if you're feeling like something weird's going on, your intuition is heightened, you're maybe getting some kind of messages from the other world, or you're feeling like something's going on, you're not crazy. It is going on. It's happening. We got to keep together, stand together, keep our vibrations raised, and support each other. All right, everybody that watches this video, whether you know me and you follow me or not, I pray that you are overcome with miracles and blessings and an overabundance of whatever it is you need, whether it be health, whether it be money, whether it be love, whether it be, whatever it is you need. And I know right now, I'm going to say this for somebody that sometimes watches my videos. So if you're watching this, Jamie, I just heard this loud and clear. You have a miracle coming, and it's coming probably this week. My timing's not that good. But probably this week, if not this week, earlier the next. It's coming. You have a miracle coming. And I pray in my heart that it's what you've been praying for. All right, guys. Blessings for everybody. God bless you. Please keep your vibration up. Please, let's support each other. If you don't have like a spiritual family yet, join mine. Okay? I need you. And if you need somebody, I'll be there for you. All right. I'll talk to you soon. See you in the next video.